Green flag to begin lap 382. Kyle Busch restarted alongside Tony Stewart, trying to get one of his 2 laps back. Didn't happen. Stewart took off. So did Kevin Harvick and Jeff Burton in hot pursuit. Jimmy Johnson 4th, Greg Biffle 5th, Clint Boyer, Carl Edwards, and Denny Hamlin. Matt Kenseth's 9th, Dale Jr.'s 10th, Kurt Busch 11th, Eric Almirola having a great race 12th, and surprisingly Jeff Gordon mired back in 13th. He's had a push all day and has not been hardly a factor at all in this race.
He's really just caught the cautions right, because he's been on the verge of going a lap down a couple of times in this 24 car. You know, right before that caution, what I was about to mention about Kyle Busch in the 18 car, who is 2 laps down, is the fact that it's unusual you can be 2 laps down and still be in the top 20, but because we have so many cars that are 2 or more laps down, it's still got him in pretty decent shape as far as a points day.
Krista in the pits of the 10th place car, Dale Jr.
Mike, it's funny. We've talked about how this track changes. Dale Jr., listen to the conversations back on lap 319. He said he felt like he was just in the way. His car got worse. And on lap 327, he said he wasn't worth anything. Right before that stop, he said, hey, my car's not too bad. They can make it to the end on fuel, they say.
Boy, Tony Stewart took it hard into turn number 1. A little too hard. Kevin Harvick had a chance to get underneath him and did, and Harv's got the lead.
I believe they've got that old 29 car right where they want it. Now we've got this battle right here between Clint Boyer, Harvick's teammate in the 07, Biffle in the 16. It was a battle for 5th. Boyer will take the position away.
And that puts all 3 of Childress's Chevys in the top 5 once again.
Which they've been there a big part of the day.
Trouble for Hornish coming off turn 4, and he's going to stack up the field going down the front straightaway. He got banged around a bit, but managed to straighten it out. Let's see who did what to whom, or is it who?
Nine car.
Casey Kane in the 9 car. He is on the lead lap, just gets to the left rear quarter panel of Sam Hornish. Sam wasn't that lucky on Friday in a couple of spins, but he was able to save it. Right now Sam is 3 laps down, back in the 29th position. One of those cars trying to fight to get in the top 35 and owner points.
And Jeff, looking at Hornish, that's one of these things we like about the COT platform. It's hard. We didn't used to see a car get that far sideways and be able to straighten it out a place like this.
No, Mike, you don't have that situation like we used to have with the old car. The new car definitely a lot more stable whenever you get knocked sideways, which a second ago it looked like Paul Menard was going to test that theory one more time. Got in the left rear quarter panel of the 77 car. But that's one of the beautiful benefits so far of the new car. I think we also saw Jimmy Johnson and the 31 car Jeff Burton get sideways, and those guys were able to recover because of it. So it's a great benefit to have a car that when you get it crossed up like that, it works to get you back going straight ahead.
And Jeff, Darrell just pointed out to Mike and I that Jimmy Johnson in the 48 on that last situation over in turn 2 was able to drive out of that what would have been a spin.
Yeah, exactly, Larry. And we've seen that several times this year, whether it's been on the super speedway or on the short track. This car is a lot harder to wreck no matter what the situation may come up to be. And we've seen a lot of beating banging going on down. It was great to see some of the side shots from the end cars and see the donuts down the side of these cars, realizing we're back short track racing one more time, guys. This is the kind of racing we all grew up doing, and it's great to see it. You can see the donuts right there in the middle of the number 7 off of Robbie Gordon, and probably another one getting put on right then by Eric Almirola to the 7 car. So good side-by-side racing here at Bristol.
Eric Almirola has been the story of the day.
They just made more contact down the back straightaway. Jeff, I think Eric has had about all of Robbie he wants right now. Remember, Eric is on the lead lap, sitting in the 11th spot.
But he's the rawest of rookies in this field, Larry, and has just had a tremendous drive as we watch Denny Hamlin powering past Carl Edwards and taking over 7th. Then a long run for Hamlin back toward the front. And as Casey Mears returns to the track, we now have all 43 cars back in the race. Jamie McMurray came back in a while ago, so despite a couple of big crashes, everybody's running.
Yeah, Mike Skinner's back out there. We found out what that fire was. We've been talking about the accordion effect. He stacked up and busted the front oil cooler, but they repaired it. He's back out there.
100 laps to go in Thunder Valley. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing on Fox, presented by AutoZone, is sponsored by Chevy. The most wins in NASCAR history. That's an American revolution.
Kevin Harvick leading Tony Stewart by half a second. As today's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. NASCAR Hot Pass only on DirecTV puts you behind the wheel. 160,000 plus fans in the seats and suites. Competitors and officials only in the infield because there's no room for any fans in there. And they are watching Tony Stewart close up on Kevin Harvick once again for the lead. Stewart has led 185 laps today. This will be the third spring Bristol race in a row in which he has led the most laps. Hamlin coming after Jimmy Johnson, 5th place, as Denny Hamlin continues to fight back from that incident earlier.
I've been watching this car, and the problem was they came back to pit road on the 6th caution back on lap 279, repaired the front fender. So that was about 130 laps ago. And as we got a battle for the lead again between Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart. And they're starting to get in some heavy lap traffic now.
Stewart powering around the outside. Back to the middle groove. Mike Skinner just ahead in that repaired car after the fire earlier. And Stewart Motors on pass with 85 laps to go. But you're right, Larry, a lot of traffic right in front of the leaders now.
Well, and that's great news for guys like Jeff Burton, Clint Boyer, and Denny Hamlin, who I was just talking about before we got that battle for the lead. I felt like maybe Denny was going to need the aid of a caution to get back up there, but I think he's got a good enough car to almost get there on his own, pretty much with 84 laps to go, because they restarted this race back in 16th just a little over 100 laps ago. So they have got up there without the help of a lot other than just the fact of the performance of their car.
Let's check on the leaders. Matt?
Nice rebound for Hamlin and the 11 team, who's led 90 laps today. His biggest hindrance is just being tight. But the majority of that, Mike, has been because he's been stuck in traffic. He's trying to be patient, methodically working his way back to the point.
Denny Hamlin 3 seconds off the lead as Stewart and Harvick carve their way through traffic, passing Kyle Petty.
Well, here's the example I give you. Again, Tony Stewart is starting to fight traffic. He just ran a 16.75. The lap before this, Denny Hamlin ran a 16.47 because Denny has pretty much an open racetrack. The lap cars is Denny Hamlin's best friends right now.
The next car in front of Denny, though, is one he's got to battle for position. That's Clint Boyer in the 07. How about Boyer, Krista?
Mike, Clint Boyer is scratching and clawing his way, trying to get to the front, because he said if he can get to the front, they can set sail. He told Gil Martin, his crew chief, I can get out front. I don't think anyone can catch us.
Right now, he's got his hands full with Denny Hamlin, that 11 car. I think Denny, he keeps kind of working around trying to find a way to get by Boyer. They keep catching lap traffic the wrong way. You can see Denny Hamlin starting to work that high side just a little bit. We've been talking about this a lot, trying to diamond the racetrack, but now he's going to go to the inside of Boyer.
Nice bottom shot for Hamlin coming off turn number 2. Got him a run down the hill and got him the momentum to make the pass. Still, Hamlin is 3 seconds behind the leader, his teammate Tony Stewart. .75 laps to go next time as you see Stewart in clean air and about to catch a bit of traffic, but under no immediate pressure from Kevin Harvick. You're watching Sprint Cup Racing, presented on Fox by AutoZone.